Welcome back. This is a reading for Scorpio Sun, Moon and Rising. You might find though that this resonates more if Scorpio is your moon or your rising sign. Okay, we have sensitivity. That's very interesting because as I was shuffling up that deck, I was hearing almost like a melody coming through, but it wasn't anything I could hold on to. So I don't know that it's one specific song I'm being given, maybe more the message that the Divine Feminine Collective right now is feeling very sensitive to the energies around them, getting maybe lots of messages through songs, song lyrics, or maybe just more broadly receiving signs and getting strong intuitive hits and then confirmations around that through things they're seeing, perhaps. Whether it's in their waking life, through dreams, could be those random signs we see when we're out and about, on billboards, license plates, whatever it is. Okay, you are extra sensitive to energies and emotions right now. Honor yourself and your feelings. Okay, cool. So we'll put that there. Okay, so of course, as well, that could be quite a literal confirmation, perhaps, for some Divine Feminines watching, if there is a connection to music or thoughts around picking up an instrument or picking an instrument up again or singing or something like that. Okay. So let's see. Sorry about that. I had a phone call that I've been waiting for, so I had to answer, but that's interesting in and of itself. We were just talking about receiving energies, messages, signs, so perhaps that's a sign for you if you're waiting for a phone call and you're a Divine Feminine watching this. But anyway, okay, take me into, please, the energy of the Divine Feminine Collective. Wow, okay, Nine of Swords. Yeah, with this card coming out about sensitivity that I've sort of almost squashed in half now, brilliant. I feel that maybe the Divine Feminines are feeling very sensitive, very receptive, and it's overwhelming. It's kind of perhaps getting to be too much. So there could be some guidance here around grounding, cleansing energy, protection around the energetic bodies, that sort of thing. Yeah, okay. What else, please? The Hanged Man, we've got Pisces energy there. I think we just had one that flipped. I don't know what the card is or if it even flipped, but in my head I'm seeing the Sun card, which is making me think of Leo, of course, but also some kind of truth coming to light that's not going to be as bad as the Divine Feminine might be feeling or thinking. No, I don't think it did flip. Okay. And the Nine of Swords, we don't just get to that place overnight. It's usually an extended period of time of worry, of stress. See, look at this. And did you see how these came out? The Tower hidden behind the Ten of Cups. I feel like the Divine Feminine right now might be fearing some kind of disaster almost, or I don't know, anticipating some kind of worst case scenario or some kind of negative surprise that, the message here today from Spirit is this isn't going to happen. So I don't know if it's fear of, okay, I know my Divine Masculine is going to announce that they're getting married, or I'm going to see something about their family or hear something, or they've gone away with their family, so this means that, or something is going to happen within my family, but it's actually not. But for some reason the Feminine is really focused on this, very worried about it. We've got Scorpio energy here with the Tower. I would kind of want to say there could be a feeling of this is too good to be true, but what's too good? Because it doesn't seem that there's that good of an energy around. I don't know, let's keep going. Six of Cups. There's a lot going on here today. I'm also seeing potential messages with the Six of Cups coming out around some Divine Feminines doing almost like childhood healing. What's it called? Inner child healing. Like maybe even some past life regression therapy. Realizing and maybe addressing some wounds around disappointments that they experienced in the past, whether the past is sort of like 3 years ago, 2 years ago, or back in childhood, and understanding how the beliefs they picked up around that situation, or those situations are still impacting them today, as in, for example, imagining disaster scenarios that aren't going to happen. So maybe at some point, say, the Divine Feminine experienced some kind of rupture within a family unit at some point during their life while they were growing up, and feeling like, well, that's always going to happen in any relationship that I build now, or something like that, but almost like some subconscious belief that's being dug up. So yeah, I don't know if they're a Divine Feminines who are really looking within and seeing maybe how some of their beliefs, some fears, some wounds have been impacting their connection, not just with their Divine Masculine and within this twin flame connection, but really impacting the choices they make in life in a broader perspective. Okay, so Knight of Wands, Two of Wands reversed. Yeah, there's a feeling of something being temporary, something the Divine Feminine wants to last being only temporary. So I don't know if there are Divine Feminines here who are with their Divine Masculine and they're like, okay, I finally got the thing I really wanted, but now I'm terrified it's going to end. Or they're feeling like, well, even if I did get this happy relationship and find this balance and harmony, it would be fleeting and my Divine Masculine would jump ship or something like that. It feels like these are either thoughts that the feminine is thinking very, very privately and keeping to themselves, the thoughts that plague them when they're feeling their most drained and vulnerable and low, you know, when those fears start to speak more loudly than perhaps their rational mind and their feelings and their intuition. Or these are lingering in the background and haven't yet been crystallized into that clear thought of, oh, I'm being triggered in some way, or this is why I feel this, or this is what that nauseous feeling in my stomach was about. It's this fear. Now, of course, if you're watching this and you're resonating as a Divine Feminine and you're like, well, I'm not thinking that I have these fears, but maybe I do, I would definitely say, please do not dig, really deep and convince yourself that you have some underlying fear or trauma that you don't actually have. It might just be that this is not your reading. So if you're not able to place these messages, I would take it as, okay, this collective message just isn't for me today. Yeah, I'm not trying to make anyone leave the reading feeling like they've got, like, I don't know, they need to go and have therapy or something. So if it doesn't resonate, don't take it. Okay, so let me have a look at this Nine of Swords. Eight of Coins reversed. Page of Wands. Because today, right now, all this fire energy, it doesn't feel exciting. It feels like a threat. I don't know if it's almost like looking at this fire energy and saying, it's temporary, it's too spontaneous, it's not tangible, I can't depend on it, it's the thing that's going to create distractions. This feels quite specific. Three of Coins reversed. Yeah, it's like we've not, even the King of Coins is reversed. We've not got the grounding, we've not got the earth energy, we've not got the stability. So maybe it's a fear of, I'm on one page, my masculine's on another, we're not pulling together here, I want something long lasting, my masculine wants, those sparks of passion in the moment to come in and out. The Tower reversed with the Two of Wands. I just saw, I think it was death, more Scorpio energy there. Yeah, a fear of something ending. Look at this, see? Even the Ace of Cups, ordinarily an amazing card, so much potential, but it's paired with the Devil, Capricorn. This is fascinating. Let me know if this makes sense to you, please, if you want to share. Because it feels like the Divine Feminine has been recently offered something with their Divine Masculine, the thing they are saying they want, but now it's terrifying that it's here, because it's like, well, what if it goes? Or they feel it. Again, going back to the sensitivity card, we got, the oracle message at the start. It's like they feel something's coming in and it's good, but that is triggering an immense amount of fear and lack of trust of this Ace of Cups. Wow. Okay. But, if this is resonating with you and it's your message in one way or another, it's really important to remember that the Nine of Swords is when our fears have got the better of us, and Spirit is saying the Tower is reversed. There isn't going to be this worst case scenario that you think and feel will happen. See, look, Six of Swords, getting up, moving on, leaving. Okay, I wonder if the feminine collective I'm talking to today does have maybe some kind of fear of abandonment. And this can sometimes even manifest as seeming like a fear or a rejection of commitment, because, you know, if we worry that we will get into a commitment and then be abandoned by someone, why not just circumvent all of that and never even commit to someone so they can't abandon us, you know? So I don't know then if the feminine feels like they're being challenged, they're the one who's being challenged to open up and engage and make it a team effort here, and that's terrifying, because if they do that, what if they do that and then the masculine leaves? This is really interesting, and it's so interesting because it feels like there is a reason that this triggering is coming up now. So as I said, I feel like the feminine has been offered something here, or feels or senses on the horizon that there isn't a big offer, an opportunity coming in, something that would make them very emotionally happy, but there's a fear like, there's a fear that it won't stick around. It's like, what's the catch here? Because the Ace of Cups with the Devil, that's a catch. That's almost like, if someone's trying to get you addicted to something, it's like, you can have the first thing free, whatever it is. It can even be TV, you know, why don't you sign up to this streaming service and have the first however many months on us, so you get hooked on it, you know, and then you're willing to pay for the rest of the time. So yes, you might enjoy it initially, but then you're kind of tied in, and you know, that's now where your money is going or something. But yeah, it's like, what's the catch here? I just feel like this is coming from the mind. It's coming from the ego, but for good reason. There is something here that happened before in the past with the Six of Cups, and it's like the feminine's being triggered into feeling like it's going to happen again, but it's not. But the fact that this trigger has come up, it's, you know, obviously it's an opportunity to reflect, to heal, to transmute, to release. We've got the Queen of Pentacles reversed, so there could have been separation, divorce, parental figures separating, maybe the divine feminine themselves separating from someone in the past. It feels, look, there it is again wanting to come out, so I'll take this out. It feels like, what's that thing where we overestimate the potential for disaster and completely underestimate our ability to deal with it. So maybe there was something in the divine feminine's past that happened, and they felt that it was completely outside of their power to influence it, to do anything. And maybe they were very young or just inexperienced in this situation at the time. But that's very different now. The divine feminine is not a child anymore, or isn't very young, or has more experience. It's hard to talk specifically about what this is, because it's very individual, it's very personal, and it's not something concrete. It's thoughts, it's fears. Yes, see? Look at this, do you see what I mean? We've got the Emperor Aries, the divine masculine though, with the Emperor. Four of Cups reversed. So again, I'm seeing very, very clearly the divine feminine has received an offer from the divine masculine, the one that they want, and they're freaking out, or they feel it coming in. Three of Wands. They've been manifesting it, they've been calling it to them. They're extra sensitive to energies right now. They know it's coming, and that's triggering fear. Wow. So we can also look at this as confirmation that if you've been feeling something is going to happen soon, Spirit is showing that it will, and giving you a heads up that it might. Don't be surprised if feelings and thoughts that are less than exuberant and positive are triggered here. You know, we might assume, oh, I'm getting the thing that I really wanted, I'm just going to be excited and happy and so in love with this thing or this person or this offer, but when it comes we are afraid or nervous or overwhelmed, you know. So just know that there might be some surprise feelings here or thoughts, but I think they're coming from wanting this so much that before it's even been grabbed with both hands, there's a fear of like, right, well, what if it goes away? Am I being tricked? I've waited so long for this, or this seems too good to be true. Okay. Interestingly, you know, in the back of this card, we've got the two swans together, which can be a sign of twin flames. So I do feel everything is much more safe and calm and okay than it seems to the divine feminine right now. But yeah, there definitely might be a need to journal, reflect, I just heard correspond with the subconscious. See what's going on down there. Let it speak. Don't try to repress it. That's just going to make it worse. But continue to remind yourself, if you're a divine feminine watching, that your fears are sort of shouting very loudly that it's not as bad as it seems. It's not even bad at all, to be honest. Creative writing. Yes, maybe automatic writing, free writing, journaling, or anything creative. Okay, so let's move into the divine masculine and see what's going on at this time with the divine masculine within this twin flame connection. Clairaudience. Now that's very interesting because I heard the melody for the feminine, so we're really focusing on hearing today. Okay, notice the love and guidance you hear inside your mind or from other people. Okay, let's see where we go with that. Okay, so can you take us into the energy, please, of the divine masculine collective spirit? Okay, 5 of Wands. The Moon, Pisces, we have the 7 of Coins reversed, and we have the Queen of Cups. Ooh, Pisces again with the High Priestess reversed. Move these about a bit. We have the Lovers in reverse, Gemini, twin flame energy there. Strength, Leo. Oh wow, Ace of Swords. Page of Cups reversed. Okay. This could be the offer, the message, the communication that the divine feminine is picking up on and knowing is coming in. And it has been a long time with the 7 of Coins reversed. Wow. Okay, it looks to me like the divine masculine collective I'm tapping into today has realised that they have some unsavoury influences around them, some people they're not interested in giving their time, attention to. 5 of Wands. For me, the 5 of Wands never really speaks of just the third party, if there even is one. It's like, it's friends, it's colleagues, it's family, it's more than one person. It's like the community of people around them that they talk to and speak to most often. With the High Priestess reversed, I feel they've realised these connections, these situations are not in alignment with me, and actually being involved in these situations is blocking my connection to myself. We have the Moon with the Lovers in reverse, so this is a divine masculine who has gone within and really reflected and thought about things and probed into, the shadows to see what's going on there, and they've come out making a decision. I feel the decision is to align with their highest truth and, to speak clearly, to live in their truth, but with purpose, with clarity, with intention, not just to go with the flow of these other people here. I feel like there is a reaching out. We've got the Page of Cups reversed, so I think this hasn't happened yet, but it's brewing. Speaking out, reaching out towards the divine feminine. Interestingly though, I feel that there is a feminine influence in this divine masculine's life who is encouraging them, speaking very positively to them. This doesn't feel like it's romantic, so it could be a parent, it could be a trusted friend, it could be a sibling, that kind of an energy, but there is someone who is in the divine masculine's corner and wants the best for them and just encouraging them and saying, yes, it's safe to be who you really are. We have strength, but today this is not looking to me like a card talking about the ego. It's looking like strength, empowerment, courage here. The strength to do something finally that they've been needing and wanting to do for a long, long time. In terms of timing, the Pentacles talk about years in tarot, so it could be 7 years, but whether or not it's literally been 7 years that the masculine's been thinking about this or on this journey here, I think it's really just showing like a really long time, we're not talking about hours or days here. Okay, so let's have a bit more of a look then. Let's look at the Lovers reversed. Yeah, 8 of Wands, moving forward, speaking, communicating. Clarify strength, please. Ten of Swords reverse, Temperance, moving towards healing. We also have Sagittarius energy there, moving towards balance, reciprocity. Okay, we're going to take those. And the Ace of Swords, Three of Wands reversed. We have that Three of Wands for the Divine Feminine. Wow. I think, jumping back to the feminine, one of the things that's making the feminine feel anxious is they're reading the undercurrent. They feel the change coming, but perhaps can't pinpoint what it is, because it's almost like what they're feeling isn't syncing up with what's happening in linear time, because on the masculine side, we have the intention to show something, do something, communicate something, but the Three of Wands is reversed, whereas for the feminine, it's upright. So it's almost like the masculine is not one step behind. I don't really like talking in terms of ahead, behind. You know, everyone's on their own journey. No one's ahead or behind. But maybe this thought hasn't crystallized yet as much as in the masculine's mind, as much as it's coming through energetically to the feminine. Does that even make sense? It's like the masculine and the feminine energetically both know what's going on. I think the feminine's 3D self, though, is also starting to pick up on what their higher self knows is going on, whereas maybe the masculine is that slight bit more disconnected from that undercurrent and from their higher self. So it's like masculine and feminine's higher self and feminine's 3D self get it, kind of. The feminine's 3D self is like, what's going on? I feel something. Whereas the masculine's 3D self is really using their mind to process and think through, and is not quite so connected to this energetic undercurrent, but they're still moving in the same direction towards this intention to manifest this communication and authenticity. Look, I've said a bunch of words that I've tried to explain what I'm seeing. I hope it makes sense. I'm kind of frustrated because I feel like it doesn't, but I'm just going to have to trust that if you're understanding, you know, what I'm talking about, you'll be picking it up energetically and you'll be able to make sense of what I'm trying to put out there. Let's have a look at this influence that I feel is quite positive. We have the Queen of Cups. Let's see. Ace of Wands reversed. Three of Swords, Seven of Cups, Six of Coins. So this is someone who is saying to the masculine, you haven't been taking inspired action. I mean, maybe they don't use those words exactly. You know, you haven't been doing what you need to do, what you want to do. You've been trying to ignore what, maybe it's reaching out to the feminine, or, you know, whatever action they're inspired to do, and it's just caused pain. Three of Swords and confusion, Seven of Cups. Yeah, this is someone in the masculine's ear that's telling them to you know, Three of Coins, that's tangible. It's also an energy of reciprocity, to go in, to do something, to give equally. I'm hearing, for some reason, this could be someone the masculine knows online. So this might, and it doesn't have to, you know, feminine energy can be a woman, can be a man. It doesn't even have to be someone the masculine is around in real life. And in some cases it might not be, especially if the people around them, they wouldn't talk to about this, or they feel uncomfortable. They could have maybe joined some kind of forum, or like a Facebook group, some kind of twin flame or soulmate Facebook group or something like that, you know. But there could be someone online who is just encouraging the masculine to go for this, to put in the effort, to put in the energy, to balance things out. We have two cards of balance here. So maybe this divine masculine is kind of saying in the past they were receiving more than they were giving, or maybe they just weren't in a place to even understand what was going on, so they were kind of coasting while they were trying to figure it out, and now they want to be more proactive. Okay. Yeah, Eight of Coins reversed, exactly. Chariot reversed. Yeah, okay, this is the thing. The masculine is saying, in the past, it's not that I wasn't putting in effort because I was being lazy. I just didn't understand what was going on. While, yes, with the star, I felt something pulling at me, I couldn't make sense of it because the chariot's reversed. Cancer and Aquarius here. The chariot's in pursuit of the star, but reversed. It's like I just didn't know how. I didn't even know what it meant. I didn't know what I was supposed to do with this feeling, but I felt it all along. Yeah, okay, and now we've got two cards of healing. So this is a masculine that wants authenticity, alignment, healing, reciprocity. And the feminine is picking up on this, and I think it's It's causing some confusion, because I don't think the masculine is showing just yet in a very, very clear, overt way in their 3D, through their actions, what's going on in their thoughts and in their intentions here. The feminine's reading that energetically, not understanding it. Yeah, it feels like a lot shifting right now in the sort of the undercurrent here, but I don't think it's just going to stay energetic or in the undercurrent for long. As I said, I feel some feminines may already have received some kind of offer or communication from their masculines. For others, it's coming in, some kind of